So ever since I was a little kid, I always thought that being able to draw was probably the coolest thing that anybody could know how to do. And I'm sure at some point in my life I gave it a try and just failed miserably, and I just blocked that out of my memory because it was just that traumatic. Pray for me, please. And so I kind of just chucked it off to art being something that not everybody could do, or just some people weren't meant to do art, you know? Or maybe that you have had to start like very young or some just ridiculous thing like that. And it wasn't until a couple months ago I saw this one video by PewDiePie called like learning to draw for 30 days or something like that. And I watched the video and I thought, wow, that's pretty good progress, you know, but didn't think that much of it until he uploaded a second video, which, I mean, you guys have probably all seen it. So it low-key inspired me to pick up drawing. So here I am. 30 days ago. Well, I guess it's been a little over 30 days ago, but just for the video's sake, 30 days ago, I went over to the store and just bought a sketchbook and some pencils. These I got later on, but yeah, just to get the point. And I kind of just got started on drawing, and I kind of had no goal in mind. Kind of wanted to do what he was doing, so I just kind of drew faces. And I gotta say, I mean, it's actually going pretty well. And I'm probably gonna make a part 2 of this video because I just really like drawing. And so, I mean, currently I'm at day 38, I think. I'm probably gonna make a part 2. So if you want to see that, stick around for the video to see how my progress has been in 30 days. And then later on, I'll make the other video. You get the point. So let's see how my progress has been. So here is my first sketchbook, and yes, I did say first sketchbook, and I will get to that later in the video. Oh, one more thing before we start. If you say anything about my mouse pad being dirty, I will find you and I will kill Of course, right off the bat, I did look up a couple of videos on like what to do as a complete beginner. So, I mean, a lot of people were saying to focus on drawing shapes and drawing like circles and lines and shit like that first. So that's what I did. I kind of just ignored the line stuff and then just moved on to circles, and that's what I practiced the first couple of days. I also started adding some of the guidelines that will allow me to draw a face later on with varying degrees of success. So you can see, you know, pretty standard for like a complete beginner, just to practice drawing circles and shapes and stuff like that. And then here we have the first drawing. I guess this will be the drawing that we compare every other drawing from this point on to this one, because this was my first drawing. I kind of got bored of just doing a bunch of circles and shit, so I just was like, okay, well, let me put those circles to practice. And so I tried drawing this, you know, kind of like as a baseline. You know, this is where I'm starting at. Okay, it's not bad, but I kind of gave her a sort of like a Giga Chat jawline. So I mean, for a baseline, it's not bad. And then just kept drawing pretty much a lot of the same. I'm going backwards. Kept drawing a lot of the same stuff. And then at some point, it kind of just clicked and it just looked a lot better than what I was trying to do. Probably because I looked up different methods and I was like kind of like bouncing in between using different methods for like constructing the face. And then this is where I actually started to use the Loomis method. And I think that helped a lot. And then this is kind of where you see that I just stopped drawing. This is actually where I stopped drawing. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like this video, please hit the thumbs up. No, I'm just playing. Kind of just stopped drawing on this sketchbook because as you can fucking see these little tabs, you're supposed to be able to rip out the page and like put it back in, but it just kept pissing me off because these things kept folding and I just wanted to keep them all tidy, and it drove me insane. So I said fuck that, and I bought my current sketchbook. This is the one that I've been using. So that's what I meant earlier when I said my first sketchbook, because it's not like I've already finished one, it's just that I kind of, you know, said fuck the other one. So this is what we're using now. Anyway, I got tired of just doing like the guideline and just empty heads, so I decided to put all that stuff that I've been doing into practice. And you know, I drew some of this stuff, and I decided to draw like actual, you know, like actual drawings. And at this point I was just kind of drawing stuff that I wanted. As you can see, I'm drawing a lot of Maki because I really like Maki. I think she's fucking badass, and she's probably the best character in Jujutsu Kaisen just because she's badass, no other reason. Okay, I drew her over here too, and I actually really like how this one came out. I think this is the first drawing that I was like, oh, I did that, nice. And like I said, just kind of kept drawing what I wanted because I don't know, I wanted to have fun. Like, if you don't have fun, then why the fuck are you doing whatever you're doing? So drew Lucy over here from Cyberpunk, like a little chibi Sukuna, drinking like a Slurpee or something, I don't know. And just some more Jujutsu Kaisen stuff, and then just kind of went back and as you can see this drawing here, I kind of tried to drawing something without reference, and it just kind of came out like that. So it was a good thing that I went back and checked myself, you know, before I just kept drawing and then like never actually see if I learned anything, you know. I kind of just try to draw without reference, and this came out. So I guess it was a good thing that I went back and checked myself. And then I drew Gara over here. This one actually came out pretty good. It took me 2 days, as you can see. 2 days. I put in some effort on this one, and I think it looks not bad. I mean, it's not bad. And then all of a sudden, on day 13th, I thought it would be a good idea to get my ass to the store and get a book that would teach me how to draw. And I started to follow it, and I very quickly realized that a lot of the information that I was reading about and that was entering my brain was not staying there. So I kind of got bored really quick. Try to do some of the drawings that they were showing in the book, but I got bored of it, and I very quickly realized that I don't want to focus on figure drawing just yet. I drew Tanjiro from Demon Slayer. I think it came out pretty well, but some of the proportions also are kind of wonky. Like, for example, the cheek kind of looks like it should be like a 3/4 angle, but then it's more of a straight on front facing angle, so it's just kind of weird. And then I kind of made a shift here on day, I guess, 16th, from drawing anime to drawing realistically, or I guess semi-realistically. And the reason I did that is because I kept hearing this kind of like phrase or whatever thrown around that wants something along the lines of, if you want to be able to stylize something, you need to know how it's supposed to look first, or some bullshit like that. And it makes sense. If you want to be able to like do all sorts of like stylizations, like different like fucking anime style and then cartoon style and then Disney style and all that stuff, you gotta know the basic structure of what you're trying to draw, you know, the anatomy of it. But I'm not focusing on anatomy just yet. I'm just focusing on trying to draw realistic people as opposed to anime characters. So this was the first realistic type of drawing that I started doing. I guess we would call it like semi-realism. As you can see, I didn't really know how to represent the nose or like maybe the lips. So yeah, it looks kind of weird. But for the first try, it doesn't look that bad. Here's some more attempts at drawing a little bit more realistically and less anime. And then I drew this one over here. I really like this drawing. But moving on, still doing just semi-realistic stuff because I'm not gonna lie to you, I was kind of enjoying it. And then we have this drawing here, which kind of just oh man, poor her. And this was the point where I kind of realized that I was focusing too much on the little details, like, oh, this little line on the eye is not how I see it on the reference, and like the lips and like where they go and all that stuff. And another tip that I heard being thrown around a lot was to focus on the big shapes. So I was like, okay, let me focus on the big shapes. So I did that over here. I did a bunch of drawings. I looked up a bunch of references on Pinterest and just kind of drew the bigger picture, not focusing on the faces. I still haven't gone back and tried to draw the face on these, but I plan on doing so eventually. But anyway, I just kept doing more of that, but did try to go back and see if I could put the features on that blank face, and I was struggling to say the least. Here I started to get the hang of it a little bit more. I mean, this one kind of looks like Michael Jackson, so I don't really like it, but I mean, objectively it's not that bad. The features definitely look a lot better, but I'm starting to simplify some of the shapes for the mouth and the nose and stuff like that. So I'm starting to get the hang of it, but still the proportions are a bit wonky. I mean, as you can see over here, I mean, she has a hell of a gap between each eye, and I think one of them is bigger than the other one, so it's just that. And then here I drew this one. I really like this one, and I think the more I draw these, the more I'm starting to get the proportions right, and I'm also starting to get the accuracy of the drawing right, because up to this point, every single drawing that I've done, like this one and then like the other one, this one, they might look good by themselves, but they don't really look like the original reference. But over here, I felt like this one did kind of look like the reference a little bit. So if you can figure out who this is, please type it in the comments, and then just I'd love to see your guesses. And I hope that at least somebody can recognize who that is. And if somebody does recognize who that is, I can quit drawing forever. Moving on, still doing more semi-realism, and I think at this point I'm pretty much getting the hang of it down. Some drawings that I do look like the reference and some others don't, but regardless of that, the drawings themselves, I think, well, in my opinion, I think they don't look that bad. But I started trying to do the hair, and I mean, this one didn't come out too bad. This one I really like. I think this might be one of my favorite drawings that I've done so far. Again, it still doesn't look that much like the reference, but if you just look at the drawing itself, I did a pretty good job, especially with the shading and the hair, the highlights. I mean, shit, I've never shaded hair like this before. Kind of surprised that I was able to do that. And yeah, this is probably one of my favorite drawings. I'm nearing the end of the challenge at this point, but I didn't really structure the drawings and the days as a challenge because originally this was no challenge. I was just doing it to do it, and I was just numbering the days. So as you can see, on day 30 or I guess 29 and 30, I just started a random ass training arc trying to understand like how the skull looks and, you know, how it affects the way the face looks, you know, like to maybe help me with the proportions that I was kind of struggling with. But unfortunately, that was day 30. Like I said, I didn't really structure this like a challenge because otherwise I would have started this way earlier. But yeah, on day 30, I started the training arc, which, I mean, spoiler alert for the next video, it didn't really last. I kind of just did it for like 2 or 3 days and that was it. I kind of got bored of drawing the skulls, and I noticed myself definitely not drawing as much, but that was it for this video. I mean, whoa. Let me stop you right there, partner. So for this last section of the video, I kind of just rambled on, and I didn't actually get to talk about the things that I wanted to say at the end of the video. So let's do that now. So now that we've reached the end of the video, I kind of just wanted to compare the first drawing that I did, which was that one weird 02 drawing, against the drawing that I did on day 30. However, I thought that it wasn't going to be a fair comparison because on day 30, it was when I decided to do that one skull study. So I just didn't think it would be a fair comparison. So instead, I will be comparing it to one of the latest drawings that I've done, just because I think it would be a better comparison than comparing a drawing of 02 against the drawing of a skull. You know, I don't know. Anywho, here is the drawing that I did on day 1. As you can see, it's not bad. I did give her a long ass jaw, but I mean, it's not bad for the first try. And here's the drawing that I did on day 38. As you can see, the improvement was kind of insane. I know I usually try to kind of play off things and be like, yeah, it wasn't that bad, but you can't deny the improvement is there. But for those of you who might think that this is also not a fair comparison because they're technically not the same art style, well, boom, here's a drawing that I just did yesterday, and it's also anime, so now you can't say shit. But yeah, that was it for the end of the video. I definitely enjoyed making it, and also just the process of drawing. I mean, I'm still drawing to this day. The Hanji drawing I did literally yesterday, so I'm definitely still drawing. But if you have any other suggestions on any other videos that I could make, please leave it in the comments, and I will definitely make sure to at least read them. No, really, leave your suggestions. I have no idea what the fuck I'm gonna do. Please. And that was all I wanted to talk about for the outro. So once again, thank you so much for watching, and I guess I'll see y'all in the next video.